Alright gang, we're just going to go live a couple of minutes earlier here. We see who's on board, see who we've got on, see who we've got, give a wee shout out. Same again, I'm on the iMac, sometimes it tells you something, doesn't it? So we've got a couple on here now. Who have we got on? Who's going to give a wee hi first? Who's going to give a wee hi? Alright, mairsy, blah blah blah. So remember, tonight's topic is joining the gym that suits you. A couple of folks said they want to see this one here, they want to see how this one actually went. So I'm just making sure everything's in order here. I'm looking left and right for here. So there's only a couple of minutes to 6 o'clock and that's it. Make sure, by the way, your cloaks go forward tonight, everybody. Make sure that some folk think it's actually Sunday getting into Monday. It's actually the AM and Sunday that does it for there. So, does anybody want to put a wee comment up here? Let's get a wee start. Then you can put it up. It's joining the gym that suits you. So who all goes to the gym? It doesn't matter if we've got one on this stream or 600. It's a conversation we're going to have anyway for there. I want to get a wee shout out first to a couple of wee folk that I know. Arctic Car Wash and Van Rental. And M&B Partitions, who do excellent bespoke stuff, by the way, with glass. They do amazing stuff with glass. North Lanarkshire Private Hire, who charge you by the mile, not the metre. And Healing Holistic Cans for all your Reiki and Hall PE needs for there. I'll be putting these out through again anyway. Turbo Tribble Plasterers. And your very own Team Mairsy Personal Training, Sports Remedial Massage Therapist and Hypnotherapy Personal Development Coaching. Hate the word life coaching, actually, even though I've got that one in my podcast video. So let's get some comments coming in the now, and even doesn't matter what it sounds like, joining the gym that suits you. So I've got a few wee things going on here on what's going to be the right gym for you. I'll go back and repeat this because some folk will probably come in, and I'll just turn this off here because I think this is going to give me bleeps. I can hear bleeps, but I don't know if you can hear bleeps for there. So, what is the right gym? What is the right gym, everybody? What is the right gym to join? Now, remember, is it fitness? Is it an athlete? Is it bodybuilding? Is it powerlifting? Is it fitness for the police? Is it fitness for what do you call it, fire brigade, things like that? Fitness comes in many forms, by the way. It comes in massive amount of forms. So what would the fitness be to you for there? As I say, I'll repeat these as I go along for them. We'll see who comes on. I enjoy doing these wee things. This is something actually new to me, becoming on Facebook Live instead of putting an ordinary video, because I get more interaction with everybody, and it suits me to a T, actually. So we'll get 4 people on just now. So what are you into fitness? So give me a wee shout out. What kind of fitness do you do? What is it you want to? Have you got any wee questions that you want to ask me? The only thing is, we don't slag other gyms. We don't slag other trainers. We don't slag anybody else's ideas. This is all about what Team Mairsy does and what my knowledge does of 33 years as a coach alone, and that I can put up here for everybody. And I got a few wee things all jotted down here. So that's what it's all about. It's not about I went to this guy, I went to this lassie, and they done. And what do you think of that? Because I'm not going to answer that. I think that's only fair, and I like to be known as that. That does it for me for there. So we're just waiting, and anybody's going to come in with any comments. I'm sure I've got it live for comments. I'm positive I've got it live for comments. I hope so, because some of these settings, as I say, are a wee bit new to me when it comes to the iMac. More than anything. So, coach, right? So we've got a few more folk coming on here, right? We'll repeat this again just a wee bit of quickness. For fitness, for bodybuilding, for getting fit for a job or whatever for there, blah, blah, blah. Put your comments on and let me know if you're involved in fitness, what do you use your fitness for? Is it just general and things like that? And then what we'll do is we'll build it for there. I want to start really talking about the coach, right? So I got a few wee pointers that I've marked down for you here. It keeps me right as well. So how he or she presents themselves, how a coach actually presents themselves. Is that important to everybody, how a coach presents themselves? Yes, it is. It definitely is. That can be down to language and different things, but let's talk about that one, because some folk think that that profanity and things like that is totally acceptable, and I don't think it is. I mean, we'll say a sweary word, this and that, but to constantly say it to a client, and especially somebody that you don't know, I'm going to disagree with that and say no, because we live in a totally different age now. I'm 53 years of age, and I mean, training back when I was younger compared to training now is different. The world is different, and we all know that. My podcast to come up on that one. So, how he or she presents himself, and I'll break it down for this. We go dress sense, how they look body-wise, their knowledge, and how they talk about other gyms and other coaches. See, that's important. As you can't really talk about other coaches for they're absolutely. It's an absolute no-no. You only focus on your own gym. Now, there might be some folk on here that's looking at want to really start up maybe their own gym, you know, because it seems to be growing and growing and growing. It seems to be massive. And I've always advised folk that when they say to me, give me some details, well, first thing is don't talk about other gyms. Don't talk about another coach. And it doesn't even matter if the other coach is actually talking about you. It doesn't matter. One single bit. So everybody, I'm just trying to work this out here. Sorry about that. It's I'm just trying to work out because, as I say, it's my wee settings on this iMac, and I think it should be all right. 2 seconds, everybody. Sorry about that. 2 seconds. I'm new to doing live. Right. So we've got. Right. Hold on now. Make sure the settings are on that everybody can message me, so they can message me for there. So that's good. Right, ideal. So, a coach. We're going to start with the coaches. When you walk into the gym for the first time, you're talking about personal training for a start, right? When somebody walks in for the first time, it's what they see. Boom. What they see is in front of them for there. What he or she, how they present themselves on knowledge, dress sense, build and things like that. But we're going to break that down and we're going to talk about that a wee bit. So let's talk about dress sense, because this has come up to me a few times over the years. Should a personal trainer or anybody who's training you be wearing sportswear? Should they be wearing sportswear? Should they have logos? Should they have, I am a personal trainer, this is my name, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Should they have all that? I'm going to disagree with that. Obviously, if somebody's standing there in a shirt and a tie and things like that in training, you're going to think it's a bit odd. That's because the whole tracksuit thing's all linked to the gym. I wear trackies all the time. I wear. The reason is I feel good in it, I feel comfy in it, and it's also related to sport, isn't it? So fair enough for there. The coach's build, right? What would you do if you walked in and somebody was really fat or overweight? What would you do? Would you think to yourself, they've got absolutely, they shouldn't be coaching, they shouldn't be doing that? Well, I know people who's overweight and their knowledge is amazing. They've got great knowledge. Remember, a coach is putting knowledge to you. I remember years ago a client had says to me that the coach should be able to do what the client does, right? That's rubbish. That is absolute rubbish. I'll tell you why it's rubbish. Because remember, I've got people in my gym who are faster and stronger than me. But I'm the one with the knowledge who will say, right, do this and do that because I can see that in the client and that makes things go forward for them. So that doesn't mean to say that, well, I can match him, I can match her, I'll lift this, I'll lift that. So that's absolutely wrong. That's wrong for there. So as I say, go back to that one, I've seen people that's overweight and definitely their knowledge is absolutely brilliant. They've got great knowledge. So I'm going to say I wouldn't judge anybody on that. I definitely wouldn't judge anybody on that whatsoever. That wouldn't be a fault. I don't know if I'm getting messages in. If somebody can send me a message, or you probably have. I don't know, even if it's a hi. Anybody that's on the now, just say a hi because I don't know. It's, as I say, I'm working off the iMac and I did this last week, but it seems to be the same this week again. And then all of a sudden it just seemed to crop up. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. So somebody that's overweight and teaching you, to me personally, remember, nobody's right or wrong when they come on to any of these podcasts. It's your own preference and what you think for there. I think that It's somebody that they're sitting there with the knowledge, they know what's what. If they can tell you, they can break it down, they can analyse it, blah, 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 then I don't think that should really be an issue. So if somebody's got big belly, blah, 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 I don't think it would be. Matt Mafia, thank you very much. Loud and clear, Stevie, brilliant. Because it's the settings, mate. It's the settings. I'm not used to the iMac doing this for there. So that's good. We're on the right track. People give me comments. So I'd like you to bring all your comments in and we'll go through them all one by one. I will answer everybody's stuff, guaranteed for there. Right, so how would you feel if you walked into a gym and the coach was talking about somebody else? So talking sake, aye, that guy you were with, aye, that lassie you were with, they're full of shite, they're rubbish, don't get near them, come to me, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've got a motto, right? Join the gym that suits you, not the coach, right? Meaning, I teach Thai boxing, John Smith down the road teaches Thai boxing, right? So what happens is somebody comes to me and says, right, I want to do Thai boxing, but right, you come to me for a class, you go to him for a class, whatever one suits you, that's the one you join. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting with 45 world champions and John Smith's sitting with no champions, it's who you feel comfy with. And if they present themselves very well, that's it. But, and I've always said this, and it does happen, if coach turns around and says, no, you come and train with me, don't get near them, they're rubbish, this and that, blah, 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 then it's right to do with money. It's fact, because we're going to come on to that subject with money, because that's a big subject when it comes to personal training, money. And some folk are charging a mortgage, and I mean a mortgage, by the way. So, end of the day, we're going to find out if what your views are, if the people are worth what they put out there. So, what I'm saying is how would you feel if coaches actually had to talk about other coaches for there? Matt says, I usually go for the coach and not the facilities. We're going to come to that, Matt. That's actually marked down. We're going to come to that about the facilities. So, but at the end of the day, Matt, it's the coach. It's like everything else. You can walk into a gym with the best of gear, and you know what? See if it's if the coach doesn't know what they're talking about, then it means nothing, mate. It means nothing. So, at the end of the day, absolutely zilch. I am brew break, sorry. The coach must know every ounce of equipment that's in that gym, because they put that there, and they should know it. So, you're right, go for the coach. It's the coach that decides what's what. And even if you know the machines, they might have other ideas, other options on the machines for there. So that's we're going to come back to some of that. We're going to come back to the facilities on that one there, Matt. So we're getting more viewers on here. And as I say, anybody that's just joining me for there, it's joining the right gym for you. We're on the wee bit just about coaches now. How he or she presents themselves, dress sense, their build, muscly, are they fat? If they're fat, big belly, whatever, then does that mean that they're less of a trainer? I want to know your views on that. Do you think, no, I'll go for him or her with the muscles or that other person? Customato taught Mike Tyson to be a legend. Customato had one fight in his life. He threw a punch, fell at the ground, get kicked 9, went semi-blind, but he produced a legend. Actually, he produced legends. So, it's knowledge, it's what the person has got up here, right? It's what I've got up there. So let's jump on to what the gym should look like. So we're on that a wee bit for there, Matt, right? So you've jumped on that one. What the gym should look like. When you walk into a gym, what do you look for in a gym? What do you want in a gym? Does it have to be the best equipment? Does it have to be, commercial stuff, which we'll come into that one as well later on for there? Or are you quite happy with a couple of wee weights in the corner and a wee punch bag in the corner, and a wee couple of mats for doing your abs? Are you happy with that? Because at the end of the day, we did speak about and say that you walk in and it's all the coach and nobody else counts for there. So, equipment does play a part as well, Matt, right? It does play a part. So, commercial equipment and you've got home equipment, because there is a big difference there, right? When you walk into a gym, like for talking sake, say you get powerlifters. Say a powerlifter walks into my gym and they're expecting 400, 500, 600 kilo in weight. Some of the guys and lassies in my gym can lift some crazy weight. So if I'm sitting there with, say, something out of Argos, you know what I mean? I mean in a workplace, right? on certain people, it might not work for them. It just might not work. So it'll just no do it. Difference between normal bars, Olympic bars, things like that, Olympic style training, it's all different. So equipment does play a part. The gym size, should the gym be large or small? What do you think? Should it be large or small? I've actually got somebody here want me to bring them in, but you know what? I don't know how to bring them in actually. This is, I say, I've been on YouTube for this, and if anybody can advise me on it, that would be great. Just being amateurish here, isn't it? We're just starting out on it. Should the gym be a massive gym, or does size no matter in a gym? What do you think? Do you think size matters in a gym? Do you think you need to walk in and it's 4,000 square feet or whatever? Remember, there's only so many machines you can use, and there's only so much you can do. You're in there for yourself. Even if you walk in as a class, you're still working out for yourself. That's how it works out for you. But I think we want to mainly copy on one-to-one personal training. So does the size of the gym really matter? And should it be commercial equipment? Don't get me wrong, some of the home equipment that I've seen these days is really good. And it's affordable, because you've got to come down to affordability as well. For talking's sake, it's like, well, I can't get to the gym. But you've got online now, and if you're sitting there with some dumbbells, this and that, and this person that's online has got nothing but the best of gear, filming for some gym, wherever, you don't have to actually copy what they've got. But some home equipment is no bad that might be suited for you, because remember, everything's all about you. Simple as that. It's all about you for there. So, if we get some more questions in, that would be great. Honestly, I would get the ball rolling a bit faster with some stuff for there. As I say, we'll keep coming back to some stuff, and we'll repeat some stuff, right? The coach's motivational skills. What do you think of the coach's motivational skills? Every coach should have motivational skills. They should have. They're a coach. It's as simple as that. Do you think that you're taught that? Or when you do personal training courses, do you think that's a case of, well, we're taught how to motivate? It's motivation is in you. I'm going to say it's in you or it's no, but I think it's in us all, but it's just getting out there and making somebody feel good about themselves when it comes into training. It's making them feel good in how they put things together. So a coach's motivational skills is an absolute must, how they put things together. A coach's attitude towards you. Remember, but we'll come to equipment and things like that in a wee minute, but the coach's attitude towards you. Do they talk to you? Do they interact with you? Matt has wrote, the amateur club I was at had their champions, and it was the size of a large living room. One small ring, 6 bags. 2 seconds there, mate. Sorry. 6 bags, but people squeezed in because the coach recognised everyone's an individual. And I believe he evaluated on a mental level rather than fitness. Size doesn't 100% matter. It's not a case of what your gym's all about. You don't need to bother with the size yet. You're running down there, but he recognised everyone as an individual. I believe he evaluated you on mental rather than fitness. It's a bit of both there, Matt. When you're putting down here, mental rather than fitness, because as a fitness gym you're getting into, and you need to know the fitness of the person at the very start, because when you're training somebody and it's getting to know what they can and what they can't do, Matt, so that you would probably put 2 in there on the same level. Recognising the mental side of it, there's a lot of coaches don't know that, mate. They don't actually know that. We're going to come to that. Crew Jim Richardson, so Addy, how you doing? I personally feel that the size doesn't matter. Sometimes I feel less is more. As a previous contributor says, going for the coach is more important. Aye, you could coach somebody in your living room, a small space. You could coach them in a living room, and having the equipment. I've got a machine in my gym, and it's one machine that can sit in a corner, and do you know what? It could do a full body. Biceps, triceps, legs, everything, abs, you name it, right? It does absolutely everything. One machine, right? But this is what we want to start building up to. People expect more. People want more. So, say for talking's sake, I ran my gym, and it was in my living room here, and a wee machine in the corner, and a wee machine in the corner, and a wee ab mat, but I've got a heap full of knowledge. Would people recognise the knowledge? Or would they think, there's nothing here, and I'm paying X amount for this? Probably the latter. That's exactly what would happen. They would probably think the latter. They'd probably say, oh, well, his gym's got nothing. But you know what? It's what you do with it. It's what you do with it. So, Crew Gym, 100% Crew Gym Richardson. Size doesn't matter. It really doesn't for there. If somebody can give us a wee bit on the coach's motivational skills, if we can jump in on that would be great. It's just, as I say, I know we're speaking before there about we don't talk about this and that. We're not going to talk about anybody. But as a coach, I hear a lot of stories. And some folks say that there is absolutely no motivation, and they feel as though that the quick as they're in the gym, they want them out the gym, and they feel as though a lot of coaches are looking at their watch, looking at which is a personal trainer's big problem, by the way. That was how I got an Apple Watch. For quickness, if something was important, I could go boom, boom, straight into the client, get on their phones. That is a problem with personal trainers. I never marked that down there, but it's just coming out head there now. Here's another one for you. Is the previous coach relevant in the consultation? So when you're chatting to your client at the very, very start about where they've been, because you've got to know where they've been. It's as simple as that. Is the previous coach relevant? Yes, I believe it is massively relevant. Now, I don't want you to know he's an idiot, she's an idiot. He doesn't know his stuff, she doesn't know his stuff. I will have to stop you there. I'll say, listen, no, I'm not going to put that together. I just want you to know what you've done. Because remember, there'll be things that you like doing, and I will note that down. A date with clients, I'll chat to them about it all the time. Somebody will say, oh, I love the battle ropes, I love the sled. That's actually a lie, because everybody hates that in my gym. But I love the battle ropes, I love the sled. I love to do 5 rounds on a punch bag or whatever, this and that. And you mark all that down in you store that. Hold on, pal. So you store that and you put that together, and what happens is that makes your bond with your new client, everything's going to go a lot better. So I would say talking about the previous coach is definitely relevant in the conversation with your new client, first day only. Now, what if a client turns around and every lesson, near enough, they turn in and say, this is what he used to do, she used to do. We'll call it they, right? So we don't miss out a he and a she, and we bring out another generation that's going to go through me like a pun of mince. So, what if you turn in and say, oh, they done that, oh, they done that, oh, they done that, oh, they done that. Would that bug you? Crew Gym, what do you think of that? If you're still online, your coach, would you take that on board? Personally myself, I wouldn't take it on board, no. I feel as though in a way they would be sort of undermining who you are as a coach or what you absolutely know. And if it's a case of they, then why did they leave that person in the first place? So, and which is another, it brings me another thing. Why did the person leave the previous coach? I'll tell you a wee story about a client, an ex-client of mine, and if she's on Facebook, she wouldn't mind me saying this, but I'm not mentioning her name. So what happened was I says, well, why did you leave the previous coach to come here? I just wanted to know, because at the end of the day, any coach, if there's on here watching this, we get our fair share of nutters, by the way, and there is, it happens, it genuinely happens. And she says that the guy that she was with was absolutely bang on. Guy was great, bang on, absolutely no problem. But he was, what do you call it? He wouldn't talk, right? So she was on a treadmill and she would say, how's your weekend? They would go, all right. What's for dinner tonight? I don't know. Have you got a busy week? Aye. And she didn't like him because of that, right? Now, is that fair? Is it no fair? Personal opinion. But then maybe she was feeling no motivated. Maybe she was feeling, this is where it goes back to coaches' motivational skills. It goes back to that. This is what we're doing. We're going to go forward and back, we're back Tarantino or whatever that. So it seems like his motivational skills were 100%. You probably could have the argument of be saying, aye, but at the end of the day, he was still showing her what to do. Aye, but we live in an age now where things are totally different. Now, I won't say what age this person was, blah, blah, blah. But I know the person. Now, what I did say was, she turned around, and says to me, I feel as though when I come here, you talk to me a lot, you break things down, and we got a lot of good talks about the mental, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. I had to put a stop to her there and back up this other coach, because I says to her, I'm also a personal development coach, hypnotherapist, so I put the two together when you come and train with me. That's exactly what happens. You come and train with me, we put two together. So this other person didn't have that skill or qualification, whatever way you want to word it. So at the end of the day, there was no point in sort of putting that one together. So he didn't need to do that. So, but she wanted that. So that was fair enough. No problem. But it's always good to know where they're sort of been for there. So I would definitely say motivational skills. Did she probably think, because we'll jump on the attitude here, did she probably think that he had a bad attitude? Your views, anybody's watching, there's a few eggs on here right now as I can see. I actually can't tell who's on. That's a bit of a pity. I can't tell who's on. Doesn't tell me that. But it'd be quite good to say, I think you're, we've all been to the gym one way or another. What do you think? So if you could give me a wee comment, I tell you, it'd be brilliant if you can give us a wee comment. That would be, it would put things on a wee bit for there. So we'll come back to the info there a wee bit. As I say, just want to go through this. This is a wee something, as I say, repeat myself, that I'll be doing every Saturday and Sunday. Just to be advert on this one, that transgender in sport is tomorrow night, which a lot of folk have been asking me about. We're not going to be controversial, we're going to just have a conversation, simple as that. What clothing should you wear when you're in the gym? What clothing do you think you should wear? Another wee story, going back a million years ago, long time ago, and this female came to my gym and said, I'm crying about the classes, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Hey, no problem. Thai boxing. We start at 6 o'clock. She was there about 20 to 6. I says, class starts at 6 o'clock. Oh, right, great. Where do I get changed? Just go down there. But, right, smashing, brilliant, right? True story, right? So, it must have been about maybe just after 6, and she came into my mind. I went, and I says to a female client, I goes, go and see if that lassie's down there. I goes, because I said she was going to come in here at 6, maybe she's lost or something, I don't know. She was going back this is going back a long time ago, right? So, the lassie came up and she was laughing and she says, oh, you better go down and see her. I went, right, okay. So I goes down, chaps on the door, and some folk might disagree with us. So this is about 6:05. So I got one of my instructors to do the stretching warm-up, things like that for there. So I opened up the door and the lassie was sitting there, skimpy shorts on, oiling her legs up and things like that. And I went, excuse me, pal, what are you doing? She went, oh, I'm just getting oiled up. I says, here, pal, I says, no, what it's about. We're here to train, we're not here to look good. Simple as that. Blah, blah, blah. I says, don't bother. And I told her no to bother when into class. What do you think your views on that are? Remember, I'm a right all-skill coach. I'm not here to look and look at you and how good you look. I'm here to make you look good in body and mind and this and that. So you walk in with all drags on. That suits me to a T. Tell me what your views on that. You might think, oh, it's a bit harsh. But I'm not here to mess about. Crew gym. I only ask who was their previous trainer and how long they were with them. If the client constantly says they did this, they did that, then I tend not to comment on the other coach's methods, as it's none of my business. If the client constantly says they've done this and they've done that, I tend not to comment on other coaches' methods. See, the thing is I gym, right? If somebody says to me, Jim, everybody, by the way, as a Thai boxing coach, I trained with Jim many years ago as well. Mui Baran as well for there. So, Jim, I'll tell people that there's every coach is absolutely different. So, and I tell folk that. I tell people when they come into my gym, look, there's no two coaches alike. So if somebody says throw a left hook like that or left hook like that, whatever, blah, 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 I will break it down and say, the reason I date this way is because, and I don't turn around and say, oh, no, that person was wrong, just shows you were in the wrong gym. That goes right back to the very start of people talking about each other, coaches. So I would say, let's bring in Crew Jim here, for instance, as Jim Richardson, to me, is the only real Thai boxing coach in Scotland, and should be a master, by the way. And don't be sitting there laughing, because you know it, and you should get these stripes ages ago. Stephen Mayer, Team Gohan, is doing as a fighting Thai boxing gym. Jim Richardson could tell you start to finish everything and put it all together. Plus, Andy was also a fighting gym as well. So there was more to that. So people that came to me for a talking sake and says, "Oh, I was at Jim Richardson." First thing I say is his gym's very traditional. The Y crew and things like that, blah blah blah. And I would break that down and say, "Well, we don't." So and it'd be hyping him up for there and saying that absolutely no problem at all. I'm going to turn around and say, "Oh, that's rubbish. You don't. We were just strictly known as a fighting gym. Let's just get in and fight, and that's it." We were taught together traditionally, but I broke away from it. But crew gym's the man, without a doubt. So, right, what else have we got here? Client relationships. And I don't mean the relationship you have with a client. I mean relationships. Now, hey, have I done it myself? Yes, I have. I'm live to the world and I'll tell the world. Done it many years ago. Biggest mistake I ever made. Anybody that asks me about starting up a gym, they always say, "What advice would you give about starting up a gym, Stephen?" You know, the first thing I say to them is, never date your clients. Never date your clients. Fact. Simple. Right down the line. Anyone to come on here and disagree with me, fair enough. Am I being a hypocrite? Probably. A long time ago I done it, by the way. I didn't think it was wrong then, but to me it was wrong. You have to keep that side separate here. And what I said to some people before was at the end of the day, if you fancy him and she fancies you, then they should leave the gym. This is just my views, remember. And keep everything separate, and may use two live forever for there. I think that's ideal. It went bad for me. So I don't believe in that. I really don't believe in that. I think innuendos come into the gym, flirting comes into the gym and things. That is absolutely, to me, massively unacceptable. No criticising anybody, because I've told you I've done it myself many moons ago for there. So relationships in the gym, absolutely no you. I mean, the title says joining the gym that suits you, right? We know that. But there's a lot mixed in. There's a lot of psychology here. It's just a pity I know a lot of folk are commenting. Or maybe they just want to see what's what. I am Brew Break. Same again, let's give a wee shout out to Arctic Car Wash and Van Hire, MB Partitions, all your glass partitions, by the way, they make amazing stuff. They actually do a glass handrail I've never seen before, beautiful. North Lanarkshire Private Hire, who charge by the mile, not the meter. Healing Holistic Cancer for all your Reiki, hop here, and Indian head massage needs for there. Turbo Trowel Plasterers, absolutely brilliant. Team Mairsy personal training myself, sports remedial massage therapist, and hypnotherapy and personal development. So, right, here we go. Right, we'll get Matt back on again. Trust is a big issue. How can you be pushed to breaking point in the last reps or miles if you don't trust the coach? A relationship has to be formed, and accountability. I personally thrived off not wanting to disappoint the coach. One smile from him after a spar made it worthwhile. Yes, we're going to come to that, Matt. We're talking about a relationship as in a coach trying to be with somebody. Let me give you a wee example. I had a female client, and remember, this is years ago, many years ago, and she came for a personal trainer, and I asked the usual question and said about your previous, blah, blah, blah. And she went to the trainer. By the way, she was stunning. She was gorgeous. She could have been a model. And she says to me that the trainer turns around and says, why don't we go out for a meal to discuss your training? And her answer to that was, no problem, I'll bring my husband with me. So, yes, it happens an awful lot out there. And by the way, the same lassie was also asked out by a female trainer. Happens. Absolutely happens. So, we got that one out the road there. She was with me for a while. If it went well, then moved on. She's in London now. In fact, I think the last time I heard she was doing a bit of modelling. So, Matt, we're going to come to that one. Definitely for there, the relationship, the bond between the coach and that for there, which is good. So, talking about relationships. Right, here's one for you, right? I'm very, very open about this one. The coach's knowledge on nutrition. Should a coach have top knowledge on nutrition, basic knowledge, whatever is in that? Let's talk about top fighters, UFC fighters, boxers, everything for there. Maybe tennis players. Tennis players know that as well. Swimmers, gymnastics, different thing. Do you know they've all got their own certain coaches who specialise on the same thing? So what's Stephen Mayer's knowledge in nutrition is no bad, actually. I don't fall for your macros, by the way, so don't come on here and give me on that. I don't fall for macros. Back in the day when I was fighting and you'd Arnold Schwarzenegger, they never bored with all that macros. Your eating plays a big part without a doubt, but we're talking about the coach's knowledge on training. A very good friend of mine, Gail D, who was Scottish champion 3 years in a row, Miss Figure, things like that, has phenomenal nutrition advice. She'd blow me out the water, absolutely brilliant. And if I ever really wanted to know something, she would be the last I would phone up and say blah 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 blah. Why would I not go on YouTube? Well, because she's a lassie who's been through it all. So does a coach have to have that? Now, what I tend to say to people is, look, somebody will come into me in the gym and they'll say, right, I want to know about this, and they'll come up with all these fad diets. We're not going to mention fad diets names, by the way, right? But I don't agree with any of them. And I won't endorse any of them. Fact, simple. We're not going to go any further on that one, right? And what I tend to say to folk is because we live in a great age now when it comes to the internet, and I'll say to my client, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link with YouTube, and one video goes to the next million, which is absolutely brilliant. You can put in eating for beginner, eating for the vegan, eating for bodybuilding, and that will give you absolutely everything you want, and that's all you need to say. So I don't think the coach has to have massive knowledge. I think basic knowledge is very good. Basic knowledge on nutrition is decent, to be honest with you, because to walk in there and go like that, nah. What can I get a good protein meal in the night? Get pasta. Is that protein? Aye. Wrong. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So a basic knowledge is good. What carbs work, how to eat maybe 3-4 small meals a day, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Depending on the size of the person, him or her, like I've got bodybuilders in my gym. They don't ask for nutrition. They just know the score. And regardless if anybody's going to jump on here and say steroids, they still have to eat very good, by the way, because the steroid, how that steroid works with proteins. So I would say that a trainer, when you walk into a trainer, the trainer has to have at least basic knowledge in nutrition, because nutrition changes all the time. Usain Bolt, the runner, was asked what training routine did he do to break the world record, and he turned around and said it wasn't his training. Although it was his training, he said it was the nutrition change. What sparked up? Now, remember, he's got a running coach, he's got a strength coach, he's got a flexibility coach, he's got a personal development coach, hypnotherapy coach, and it was a nutrition coach. And nutrition is the key to absolutely everything. So your coach should say that to you. Your coach should give you that for day one. And my motto is, you do your job outside, and I do my job in here. Me and you can't fail. It is fact, simple as that. If you're going to go out there and eat one meal a day, and it's a bit of toast, and because some fad diet companies told you to do it, then there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not in control of that. And people tend to hide it, but what I will spot is, I can spot when clients are tired, yawning, and I put in wee certain questions. I'm good at asking wee questions that draws them to the surface on things, and I know that their eating is terrible, and you're paying all that money, which we'll come to in a minute. You're paying all that money for a personal trainer, and you got to do your job. That also brings me to, should a personal trainer sell products? Should they sell products at a markup? Now, please believe me, I'm not slating anybody here. I'm just asking you a question. We've still got folk on here, and we just want to know if anybody's want to come in on this. I personally do not sell products, and I don't endorse any products. Absolutely none whatsoever. You get into Aldi, you'll get your fish, you'll get your eggs, you'll get your pastas, everything. You'll get everything you need out of these stores that the body needs, and it's guaranteed. Now, there's also a wee conspiracy theorist, Stevie Mayer, that protein powders do not contain the proteins that they say they have in it. You would need thousands of pounds to go out there and get that tested. You're just going to be a label at the back that says 28 grams per scoop serving or whatever, this and that. Oh, Stephen said I have to get about 32 grams of protein in my body per hour, so that should be okay. You don't know. You don't 100% know that. You know, you've got all these additives that go with it as well. And some people use these as meal replacements, which is unacceptable. I'm telling you, you want to be eaten. You want to be the digestive system. You want that to be gone. You want that to be gone and flowing naturally and everything. I genuinely know people that just use drinks. You know, right? That's your meal for the night. Imagine put a drink down to me, man. I'd throw it at you. You know what I mean? You might be sitting there with a nice meal. You know, a bit of protein, your carbs, elementary fats. Still have a wee couple of cheat days. No one cheat day. You can have a couple of cheat days. Like I always say to my clients, you know, if you eat good Monday to Friday, best thing I ever bought, by the way, was a slow cooker. Amazing. You eat good Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday you can muck about. And what you tend to know is you don't really muck about. Yeah, you go, I ate good that week, so I'm not going to muck about as much as what I've done. Fact. You know, fact. Years and years and years and years and years of coaching. 33 years, everybody. So, does it make me better than anybody? No, it doesn't. But I've been about it for a long, long time. So, nutrition. The coach should have a basic knowledge of nutrition. Now, like I say, I send people links to YouTube. And the links that I send them are very worthwhile links. And they go, if you want another, and they break it all down and what you get. And the links don't promote anything else but foods. Fact. How many days a week should you train? How many days a week should you train with a coach? Now, we'll come to that because personal training does cost money. I've heard some crazy prices out there. Myself, I'm £25 an hour. I think it's very reasonable. Very, very, very reasonable. And I've heard, I'm not going to mention prices because I feel as though that would be pinpointing certain people. I think it would be wrong to do that. I just think some prices are absolutely crazy, man. It is genuinely like a mortgage per month. Here's what I do. If a client comes into me, right, and they talk about how many times a week should I train with you, Stephen? Well, look, it's all down to money. And that's a fact, right? I'm not going to hit you with a motivation skill. Hey, listen, here's what happens, by the way. If you train with me, you'll be like that. It doesn't work that way, right? Because you've got bills to pay, you've got kids, you've got mortgage, you've got a motor, you've got everything. And I take all that into account. And as a guy I used to know years and years and years and years ago, didn't do the training anymore, used to say he didn't care what others did. It's all about what goes into his wallet. And I thought that was terrible. You have got to take that into account. So personal training, how many times a week? Now, what I say to my clients is look, some folk will say, I can only afford one a week. Is that enough? It can be enough, because then I will educate you to go out with the gym and the other stuff. Now, you've got Pure Gym, the gym, whatever. They're charging, £20 a month for 24 or 7 days a week, right? Now, why are folk not going to there and why they coming to me and paying me £25 for 1 hour? Is one female client says to me, I walked into the Pure Gym and nobody told me what to do. No motivation, no nothing, no zilch. You're in the gym, but what do I do? Regardless of the initial consultation thing, but she still didn't know what to do. So, paying for my experience on that for there. So that's what I say to my clients, is I'll say, me once a week, and I'll have your training there, and out with you can bring it down a wee bit, and I'll guide you. And I encourage all my clients to send me a text and say, look, I'm doing this and doing that, what do you think? No problem. Do you know that I've actually got people who send me text messages on advice and they're with other personal trainers? That's fact. Many times have I said fact tonight? Quite a lot. Have we got any more questions here, or are you just all sitting listening to what I'm saying? Am I talking rubbish? Am I talking sense? I'll tell you what's talking. It's experience that's talking. So, the cost of personal trainers and how long they train you for. I've heard folk getting charged crazy money for half an hour sessions. That doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. That is wrong. Wrong. I don't care. That's wrong. And if you've been here and you only get 25 minutes because 5 minutes is to get us all ready and get our client in. I remember an old boxing trainer a few years ago, and some folk on here, if they're on the new might know him, was old Taxi Tommy McGuinness. Used to say a good 45, 50 minute workout is all you need. Put the time in, great. I do 1 hour. But as I say, half an hour training sessions, I'm not going to endorse that one single bit. And I think anybody's doing that are getting conned. I'm sorry. That's probably taking it back to the start. And it's like, oh no, you slagging folk. No, I'm just putting my view out there. Crew Gym, always. Thank you very much. Real Thai boxing gyms these days won't even know what that means, by the way. Do you know that if you date for there, it's disrespectful? We got that through Master Skin, Grandmaster Skin. iGym, without a doubt. Thank you very much. I reckon that if you're going to be getting trained by somebody, it should be 1 hour. Now, what do I do? Say you train with me at 12 o'clock. You stop at 5 to 1. 5 minutes to get you ready and let the other one in. That's 55 minutes. I can knock your pan in there, by the way. No problem. I give you a lot of variety as well. So, definitely, half an hour training sessions. I'm not going to endorse it one single bit. And if there's somebody on here going like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, you better believe it. Do you want to come on and debate with me? I will gladly debate with you, no problem at all. And you better know what you're talking about. Okay, right. Now here's one, right. Should a coach show you things that they are not qualified in, but they have a wee bit of knowledge? Should a coach show you things that you're not qualified in, but they've got a wee bit of knowledge? I don't do it. I've been asked. I'm a striking coach for MMA fighters, Jack Roy, things like that. I don't do groundwork, and I've had folks say to me, Jack's popular on Instagram, and they'll say, "Oh, you train Jack Roy, and do you do it?" No, I don't do MMA. And I could probably go out there and learn about 5 really, really good moves. Armbar is all I know, by the way. I don't even know nothing else about the sport. And I could learn 5 really, really good moves, and I could make a fortune, because MMA is the sport. Without a doubt, it's the sport. So I'm going to say that you shouldn't be teaching what you don't know. If you've got an element to it, then you should only be teaching the basics of it. And you should be, as a coach, you should be studying that. You should be putting out there and studying that a bit further. You should be saying, right, well, I better, Or maybe if you're trying something out, you're analysing it and saying, well, the reason I'm doing that is because I feel as though that's fair enough, I know. But as I say, I've given you an example there. People have asked me, do you teach MMA? And I could have easily said aye and charged them crazy money as a one-to-one personal training. Got them on the deck and done a couple of moves and hurt them with 33 years of talking to folk and probably conned them dead easy. So I'm going to say, if you're not qualified, don't do it. I had a client come into me a while ago there, and they wanted to do bodybuilding. Now, I don't 100% know bodybuilding, right? But I do know drop sets, body sets, pyramid sets, drop sets, aerobic drop sets, blah, 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 right? I know all that, right? So I can put that together, blah, blah. I can do a lot of that. When it comes to, say, posing, no. Stand there with your black pants on, no got a clue. You'd have to go to a specialised coach for things like that. So I wouldn't be going on YouTube and going, wait a minute, did he do that? I don't know. Crew Gym, who done a bodybuilding competition? You could probably answer this one here. No, I was. It's I know elements of, but there comes a time when you have to put them forward. But why does some coaches not put them forward? Because they're not getting the money, and this is where it comes down to. Right. Okay. What have we got here? So, should you and the coach have a relationship as in a friend? Hang about with them, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I can hardly even answer that one. I'm not really pally with any of my clients. I know them. They'll send me a joke or this or that. And a couple of them have been out wee walks with and things, but it's all been into their fitness. But would I go to nightclubs and things like that? I would say no to that. I would definitely say no. And I could do a full podcast on that, everybody, on that one alone. So I'm not saying I'm not a pal, by the way, because when they walk into my gym, I tell them at the start regarding monies and rules and terms and conditions. But there's some folk that you do bond with, without a doubt. You have a really good bond, and that's side. But I don't go clubbing with them and stuff like that, and partying and stuff. I don't do that. I don't 100% really do that anyway, So we've got one here. So as I say, we're nearly finished, by the way. We're nearly finished. I'd like to have actually more questions on here, right? Maybe he's waiting for this transgender one, probably. So let me finish after this one, right? Crew Jim, I want you to take him in this if you can. Clients to answer back, e.g., they say they're no good, they're this or that, blah, blah, blah. Clients that come in and do that to a coach. As I say, I'm saying joining the gym that suits you, but there's a lot of psychology in that title, and it can mean a lot to a lot of people. There might be personal trainers viewing on this. I don't know. They might say you're right there, or you're wrong there. If I'm wrong, I could probably get you in live if you want to come in and have a wee debate. I absolutely love a challenge. So I'll be honest with you. I've had a couple of clients where I've said to them, "You're doing great, you're doing great, you're doing great," and they say, "No, I'm not." And I told them that was their last lesson. And a certain person, after watching this, they'll write on that and say, "It was me," but I'm not going to mention their name. And I say, "This is your last lesson," because if you think, I'm telling you, you're doing it right, and if you think that you're doing it wrong, then I'm not the coach for you. So it looks like we're going to have to part. So I'm going to say, when a client answers back to me, it should be how they feel mentally, physically. "Oh, Stephen, every time I do that, right, my shoulders curl. Every time I'm lifting up my bicep, I feel as though when right, okay, that's good." That's feedback. That's feedback for the client. So that's a big difference between feedback and answering back. So big difference for there. When they start telling you, I think it's time to call it a day. Crew Gym, yes, I did bodybuilding for a year or so and completed with the BNBF. I think that's the natural mob, if I'm right there. You can correct me on that. I think it is natural. Enjoyed it, but wasn't really compatible with my maybe training. Do you mean the Thai boxing gym? How you ended that wee bit? I don't know how you ended that wee bit there. You look great in it, but sorry video, Jim, you look great in it, without a doubt. I couldn't teach that. I couldn't teach, what do you call it, the posing and things like that. That's a specialised field. Just where it goes right back to, I've talked to before about Usain Bolt. They've all got their own coaches and what they do. Arnold Schwarzenegger used to have a ballet coach. Used to learn ballet to be graceful. A lot of folk don't know this, but I'm actually a fully qualified YMCA and RSA, which is Royal Society of Arts, aerobics instructor. And when I did that, I learned ballet. Wow, Stevie Mayer learning ballet. Hey, it was actually no bad. It was quite graceful. We spent a full day doing ballet to be graceful. To be graceful in teaching people to do aerobics. Because I had the big thumping boxing moves, you know. All hunched up and all that, you know, double jab straight, right? So people that would be specialised for there. So answering back and feedback, predicted text, mate, Muay Thai, definitely. But the transition, Jim, for Muay Thai and bodybuilding, what you done was great, man. Absolutely great. Right? You look great in it, 100%. I don't know if you can put pictures up here for folk to see, let them see it. That would be great. So everybody, we've been on for nearly an hour. This is what my podcast will last for. I'd like more questions in about the fitness thing and what you're doing, but maybe some folk are on, and it's a case of, let's see what he's saying, by the way. He's right, he's wrong. Remember, nobody's right and nobody's wrong. Not in my world anyway, not in my world. It's only my view and what's been said. And it's my 33 years of coaching. Remember, I've been involved since I was 15. 53 years now. I've been coaching for a long time. It didn't make me better than anybody. Anybody that trains me knows that. I don't have that conversation. Definitely don't. By the way, remember your cloaks go forward tomorrow. Remember that. Did I say that at the start? I want to also give a wee shout out again to Arctic Car Wash and Van Hire. Deal with Big Ricardo. Will do you a great deal. M&B partitions, absolutely brilliant. All your bespoke stuff. They do all your glass stuff, even partitions for your social distancing. As I said, they do a glass handrail. I said that before. It's absolutely cracking, by the way. You get to my age and things start to become a bit different than how you think. North Lanarkshire Private Hire, who charge you by the mile, not the meter. And Healing Holistic Cans for all your Reiki, Hoppy Ear, Indian Head, things like that. There's actually a podcast coming up on healing holistic hands. That's coming up in a few weeks. We're going to do a full video on that for there. We're going to get Maureen to do a video, and I'll be narrating the video on what she does and blah blah blah. So I've got my Reiki one, but Maureen's a master at Reiki, and she knows her stuff, guaranteed. Team Mairsy personal training, sports massage therapy, hypnotherapy, and personal development. Rolls off my tongue, doesn't it? Tomorrow we've got we got somebody else in, sorry. As they say in Thailand, mate, same but different. Same but different. Yep. Folks say to me, why did you never go to Thailand, Stephen? Why no Thailand? Holland was always a place for me, Jim, if I was going to go. But that takes it back to the fighting gym, doesn't it? You know, because I wasn't the listeners. I just wasn't. So we've got an interesting podcast coming up tomorrow night, everybody. And it's transgenders in sport. Male to female, physically. Do you agree with transgenders in sport? Do you agree with the MMA fighters? Do you agree with the boxers? Do you agree with the weightlifters? Do you agree with the basketball players, football players? That one's going to get into detail. I hope to get a good response on that one for there. So that'll be good. And I'm hoping somebody comes on that one. There's big Tommy Hands. Tommy, you're coming in at the very end, man. Big Tommy's coming in at the end. We've got something planned for Big Tommy. Wait till you see it, right? But me and Tom have been talking about this. You'll love it. We've got a good promo thing going with Tommy Hands here. And you'll love it. I know it's going to look good. It's going to look great. What was I saying there? So we're hoping that tomorrow that we've got somebody with transgender, that knows somebody with transgender or whatever, they'd like to come and have a conversation. If you want to come in, we can bring you in live. I think I know how to do it. I'm not too sure. I'll guess that one, but I think I know. And there's a few more stuff to come up. I've put it on my Facebook what the rest of the month is. Next week we've got Scott Dixon, a multiple world champion who's came through some hard times, by the way. Who was also the body double and coach for Brad Pitt in the film called Snatch. So we've got Scott coming up. We've also got Kiara coming up. I'm not even going to pronounce Kiara's second name. But it's Kiara, whose father's Fran, who runs Pluto's Chip Shop in Carfin. Probably the best fish stoppers you'll get, by the way. Absolutely brilliant, melts in your mouth. And she's going to talk about this generation and what she thinks of this generation. And I don't mean slagging them, but just what you think things is. Cool, Jim. Always, mate. Always. Without a doubt. So, everybody, we're on here for an hour. Don't like to date any more than that. I want to thank absolutely everybody that's been on. He's make my day, whether one's on or 100's on. Thank you very much. And I hope you tune in tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Make sure you get your cloaks in order. And don't slip up, blah, blah, blah. And thank you, everybody. Love you, Zotty Bits.